ask yourself, did your average sales per day increase during that promotional period? The purpose of this video is to discuss how to tap into 4 ways to measure the performance of your promotions, using these findings to make your next sale even stronger. The best part? This video is designed for busy studio owners and managers just like you. So we're going to keep this lesson about 5 or 6 minutes. Ready, set? Let's learn. All right, focus point number 1 is your average sales per day. To compute this, you're going to look at the reports in your CRM, comparing the sales for your promotional item for 3 time periods: the 7 days prior to your promotional period, the 7 days surrounding your promotional period, and the 7 days after your promotional period. The best way to do this is to compute the average sales per day, again looking at just the promoted item, for each of these time frames. And now that you've got your data, ask yourself, did your average sales per day increase during that promotional period? Probably. But here's where it gets interesting. When comparing the sales per day to the prior to the promotional period to the sales per day after the promotional period, ask yourself, does it look like the promotion just pulled in future sales that you would have normally received at a normal cadence? Or did the promotion give you a true sales and margin lift? It's an interesting thought, isn't it? So let's move on to focus point number 2, which is your average order value. We just looked at the big picture, the average sales per day. Now let's get a little bit more granular and look at the average order value during those 3 time frames that I mentioned above. In other words, we want to understand what happens to the average dollar amount for the consumer's order before, during, and after your promotional periods. So similar to focus point number 1, you're going to use your CRM to calculate your studio's average order value. You get this number by simply dividing the total revenue for those time periods divided by the total number of orders. Of course, like any data, once you calculate those numbers, it's natural to ask yourself, why does this matter? Here's why it does. By learning how much your customers are spending on each order, you can then tweak and plan your pricing and marketing strategies to improve it. Now, we just talked about your average sales of your promotion per day and the average order value. Now let's zoom in or zoom out and look at how your promotion affected all sales across your studio. So that brings us to focus point number 3, which is your total sales per day. This next focus point helps you focus on the big picture. For example, did your 10-pack Black Friday special entice your clients to throw a few extra retail items in the cart because they saved so much money? Or did your buyers stick to only the deals and steals during that promotional period? To measure this, we're going to, again, tap into your CRM's reports looking at those same time periods. Compare the total sales per day of all items during the promotional periods, including the items not promoted, to the total sales per day of all items during the non-promotional periods. Looking at that data, ask yourself, does it appear that the promotions impacted your total sales due to the added buzz the promotional activity provided in your studio community? All right, last one, and this one's fun. Buckle up, because focus point number 4 is a promotion cage match. Well, it's not quite as spicy as a real cage match, I suppose, but imagine if I took the results of your focus points for your Black Friday special and compared it to the 3 focus points of, say, your summer special or your New Year's special or your spring break special. Ask yourself which promotions provide the best sales and customer engagement for your studio. Compare those results year over year to see if trends are favorable. Perhaps certain promotional activities are getting stale. Keep it fresh, my friends. Do not be afraid to scrap or reinvent promotions that are getting less effective. This This 4 focus point assessment is a really simple, effective indicator of your studio's promotions effectiveness on your sales. And unfortunately, a lot of small to mid-sized studios do not take the time to perform this analysis because it takes a lot of time. Listen, I know everyone is short on time, everyone is even shorter on staff, but I can guarantee you that this quick analysis will give you a competitive edge in future promotions. While it may take a little time and effort to pull together the data from your CRM, I encourage you to assess the effectiveness of your company's promotional activities. Don't just put things on autopilot. Look at the data. You may be surprised by your findings. And don't be afraid to use these findings to make small tweaks here and there. As you know, regular fine-tuning of activities across the board in your organization are what are going to enhance your studio's profitability. So in closing, use these 4 ways to measure the performance of your promotions and go ahead and make some tweaks to make your New Year's promotion even more effective. Thanks for learning with me.
Hey everybody, Jessica LaChance here. Do you want more business education for your fitness studio or wellness business? Subscribe to our YouTube channel or our email newsletters, and we'll see you here soon.